The year is 1980. Van Halen is well on their way, if not already, the biggest band in the world. Next on Heels and Quads.
Get all the people here tonight!
What's slow songs at all?
We're the new thing.
None of us are from California. That's how come we don't sound like the Eagles.
Habitué of Hollywood's star-sparked Sunset Strip, hopping and bopping and popping with the best bet for the boss beat at the top of the pop smash gold. For those of you with the timely taste.
With Van Halen is we just finished our new album, and it's been in the making for quite a while here. We took most of the last year, 1983, to make 1984.
Welcome back, Heels and Quads Media here on YouTube. I'm Tommy, and I'm finally back with a Van Halen ranking video. We are deep into the thick of it. The next five, the top five, or the five original Van Halen albums, starting with Van Halen 1 and ending with 1984's 1984. Before I get started, if you like this series, or if this is maybe your first time seeing this, you can go back and watch the other videos, and at the end there'll be a full ranking with all the videos in one. But when all of the albums have been ranked and the full video is out, watch that as well. But if you like this, or you found us from the vinyl hauls or just the live podcast, whatever we've done that you enjoy, subscribe, like this video, comment down below, tell me where this album ranks on your list of Van Halen albums before we get started with number 5, Women and Children First. So I'm going to do this a little differently than previous videos now that I've started doing the vinyl hauls every week. I don't want to do a scripted video where I just kind of give a background detail. You can go on Wikipedia if you don't know, or you can find a Van Halen documentary to watch and find out information on these. I want to give more of a personal view on these albums, which, I mean, that's included in the scripts that I've typed out in the past, but I feel like doing it this way, it feels more intimate, more one-on-one between myself and you, whoever's watching this. If anybody's even watching this, maybe you just have it on the background and you're just listening to it. So this album was released March 26th, 1980. It is the band Van Halen's third studio album after Van Halen 1, the debut, 1978, Van Halen 2, 1979, and then Women and Children First, aired in March of 1980. They had toured the world and elsewhere already at this point, and I think especially with the first album, it was really raw. It didn't feel, as poppy as maybe Van Halen 2, which I haven't ranked yet, but it'll be coming up shortly. And I say Van Halen 2 is kind of more poppy because Dance the Night Away, which I love that song. This kind of feels like you're going back to the debut, and a lot of that has to do with a song like Fools. They were already doing that live. Take Your Whiskey Home, stuff like that had already been done before Michael Anthony joined the band. Loss of Control, Take Your Whiskey Home, Could This Be Magic, and A Simple Rhyme was another one that was done before Michael Anthony joined the band, and then they re-recorded it and switched the lyrics up a little bit. This album goes back to Van Halen 1 in a way, with the grit and the almost more bluesy vibe to it. Not that Van Halen has like a ton of blues influence in the feel and vibe of it, but it's there. There's an underlying blues feel to it, and I think that has a lot to do with the way Eddie plays, the lead with the rhythm in the rhythm section, and just the way the band just all vibes. But it's also got that kind of Motown vibe with the harmonies and everything. So Van Halen is a mix of everything and still being its own thing, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but whatever. You can tell me in the comments it doesn't make sense. I think it makes sense. The first single, In the Cradle Will Rock, which starts the album off, it's got that cool keyboard synthy to open, and then it kicks in. Everybody wants some. Everybody knows the song. Everybody likes the song. It's on the radio a lot. Fools, underrated song. I think this one got overlooked for a long time. I know diehard Van Halen fans obviously know this song, but for the common folk, I think Fools gets overlooked. Romeo Delight, great song when I got to see him in '08. Romeo Delight was obviously on the set list. Great song, great live. Tora Tora, instrumental. Loss of Control, bit weird of a song, but cool. Take Your Whiskey Home, love it. Could This Be Magic? It was like, it almost feels like it could have been on Diver Down, which would come later, but I've already ranked it. It was the last one. It was 6. And then In a Simple Rhyme, close out the album. Go back to the way I used to do it. Favorite track on the album, Take Your Whiskey Home. I think it is just a hodgepodge of kind of every influence that they had as a band. They just kind of put it in a blender, and Take Your Whiskey Home is what we got out of it. That was the finished product. Cooler guitar solo than I remember. Started this months ago, and really like tuning in to all aspects of the sound of these records. But a way like vibier guitar solo from Eddie than I remember. Least favorite track, I mean, these last 5, this is like almost impossible. I mean, there's not really a Van Halen song that I dislike until, you know, obviously the samey stuff. But if I have to pick one, I'll go with Loss of Control. Just because it's kind of weird. I mean, it's still cool. I like it, but out of everything else, and I don't want to pick Tora Tora because I actually think that's a really cool instrumental. Yeah, probably Loss of Control, just because it's just so different from everything else that they've done. And then honorable mention, like I said before, something that's not a hit. It happens sometimes, but here I'm going to pick something that I think it's been overlooked, and that's Fools. That constant riff, that dun 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 dun, with the bass and the guitar just so synced in, and that rhythm section you get from, I mean, Van Halen is just so good when it comes to just rhythm sounds. And then you add Dave on vocals and screams and just being, you know, the life of the party, the hosts of all hosts, and then you've got Edward Van Halen ripping solos and just rocking the lead guitar as well as rhythm. And I think Alex Van Halen's one of the most underrated drummers, and he shows it here how good he is. I mean, the first 2 albums, obviously he had already cemented himself as a great drummer, but I think here is when he really starts to kick in. And then I think even further in Fair Warning, the next album that would be coming up. Let's do a quick recap. And again, if you haven't already, subscribe, like this video, comment, let me know where Women and Children First rank on your list. And hopefully I will be able to get the last 4 out a little sooner. I think doing this way is a little easier because then I don't have to type stuff out. And let me know in the comments if you don't like it this way. I just feel like this way is a little more personable. I think it seems a little more authentic than typing something out and then reading a script, because I'm not having to look away from the camera as much. We've got 4 left, so we have, not in any order, we've got Van Halen 1, we've got Van Halen 2, Fair Warning, and 1984 still to come. So how I'm going to rank those, let me know what you think my 4-1 will be. And what's your 4-1? What's your 5-1? Give me your list of the Van Halen albums ranked. If you haven't already, I know there's a couple of people that have ranked already in previous videos. And if you have, copy and paste it on this one in the comments. But that's all for today. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and I'll see you next time.